We got to get this. We got to see how amazing this is about to get. So react inception. I'm about to gargle so much slop. We got Papa Gut over here reacting to Destiny, reacting to Asmongold, reacting to Destiny, reacting to Asmongold, reacting to MSNBC, dude. I'm so excited. This is so exciting. This is the most exciting thing that's ever happened in your life. And that's true. You know it's true. This is your sign to get your shit together. Let the slop begin. Listen, I think I'm part of the problem because this is kind of exactly what I want to look at. Asmongold versus Destiny, political gamer drama. This is what resonates with me. I know I've been a little off of it lately. People are probably watching the content say, you know, Papa Gut just doesn't feel like he's into it right now. What's going on with this guy? And I'm not going to lie, I've been a little burnt out. Some of the stuff that's going on, not super feeling. But this seems a little better. I'm looking a little excited. And that's a problem because we shouldn't really be consuming this. This isn't healthy for our political conversation and discussion, of course. I could already tell it's Destiny. Very smart guy. Sometimes not the most productive communication, especially on his stream. Versus Asmongold. I don't know too much about Asmongold, honestly. I know he has some hygiene issues. And that's it. I don't really know too much about Asmongold, so this might be a new... I've watched that one video where he talked about why he used to use a dead rat as an alarm clock. That's interesting. I don't understand that. But I guess we're gonna... I have a feeling that over the next coming months, we're gonna see more. This is gonna ramp up. Probably. This might even, by the time I release this video, it might have ramped up. I'm excited. I'm giddy. I have lumbar support today. My back's been hurting. I'm getting old. It's very important. Some people in the chat are saying he's the most reasonable incel in the world. Okay. I don't think it's involuntary because I think Asmongold's rich. He could definitely buy something. But anyway, let's watch this. So this is Destiny kind of losing it on Asmongold over Asmongold's video. The legacy media is cooked. Just to be clear. What is legacy media? CNN, MSNBC, Fox. All this is legacy media. Let's watch. Let's see. Let's just have fun. And then we're actually going to watch XUC react to it too. He's in here somewhere. I think Asmongold gives a minor react, but nothing crazy.
One of the ways.
Wait, you have the Asmongold's response in the. Okay, you find that.
Is that he now has a kind of coterie of oligarchs, including the richest man in the world, who have kissed the ring, worked to get him elected, and are now apparently going to be running America. No.
Listen, already pausing for commentary. I just watched Bernie Sanders talk to Lex Fridman. It was very interesting. And one of the things that Bernie said is that he feels like we're kind of already there with an oligarchy. It's rich people buying the government through lobbyists. And I think I kind of agree with him. And so anything that Trump is doing is probably worse than any, probably worse than any typical politician. But if anything, it's almost like we're putting a mirror, a cracked mirror to our own political face. So I kind of agree with these things, but I mean, it's almost somewhat typical. Small group of people having control of a country, organization, or institution. I mean, explain to me how, like, what was it? It was like 1,000 healthcare lobbies alone in America or something. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Nobody had a problem when all the billionaires were doing that for the Democrat politicians. Nobody.
Well, the billionaires do it for the Republicans and Democrats. Just to be clear, I think that there's a smaller concentration of like billionaires that give more money in the Republican Party. But either way, this is a both sides issue. So let's not pretend that this is because the implication here that it's like, oh, Democrats have been doing this forever, and all of a sudden one Republican. It's always been like that. Well, maybe not always, but it's been like this for both sides. Okay, wealthy lobbyists will lobby to not implement regulation that's good for all of us. Okay, Republicans do it too. It's not a one-side thing.
Nobody had a problem about that, but somehow we're supposed to act like this is a problem now. Get the f*** out of here.
It is a problem now. It was a problem then. I don't like the implication that this is the first Republican to take advantage of the system when it's always been happening. And I don't think it's something that we should brush off because of the I'm hearing, who cares? From Asmongold. What we need to hear is like, we have to start to care. This is a big problem. This is a big problem. Okay.
It's been happening forever.
Plus, we already know the Republicans have more money because liberals don't fucking work. Incredible.
And how do you know that it was billionaire Democrat influence that was involved? Well, it's simple. It's because...
Wait, what?
One of the ways it's
I'm a little confused.
genuinely different is that he now has a kind of coterie of oligarchs, including the richest man in the world, who have kissed the ring, worked to get him elected, and are now apparently going to be running America. Now,
nobody had a problem when all the billionaires were doing that for the Democrat politicians. Nobody.
People did have a problem. What I find interesting is that, and this is like, I don't know, I'm going on a tear with this. We're very conspiracy brained right now. Very conspiracy brained. And, you know, like, oh, COVID wasn't real. It was. Or Trump's election was robbed from in 2020. Obviously it wasn't. He won twice. There's a magical shadow deep state government that's trying to do this and that. It's like, well, they wouldn't have elected Trump. We want to make up all these different conspiracy theories. We don't need to. The corruption of the United States government, I would argue, is pretty much completely visible to everybody, everywhere, and just nobody cares. What's the corruption? The corruption is that people can buy insulin and increase the price by 100-fold. And what do we do about it? Blech. Nothing. We don't do anything about our healthcare problem. We don't do anything about like any of our problems. You have like big businesses buying up houses, doing shit work to them and flipping them, and then people getting locked in these like these cesspool holes. Lobbyists that advocate against the will of the people. They could do whatever they want. And we don't do anything about it. Politicians basically being bought by them. Politicians seem to do very well stock-wise. I don't know. That seems a little crazy to me. We don't need any more. I feel like there's no real conspiracy behind the scenes. It's all in front of our fucking faces. We're paying like what, twice as much as like every other country for healthcare? That's like worse. Where's the fucking conspiracy? It's in front of our face. We just don't care. We're used to getting oppressed. We're sucking it like a good little boy. Wow, that was weird the way that you guys said that. I didn't say that. You guys. Okay. Cut that out. We're taking it. Okay? We're taking it like good cucks. There doesn't need to be a conspiracy, okay?
Who, when, where, how? Can I just say two things? You know what? Two things. Okay. One,
I'm ready for the crash out. Do it.
I think we can say that Asmongold is a political streamer, which is kind of funny because two.
Well, I mean, he's at least as qualified as Hassan. No? Right? If Hassan's the standard, if Asmongold's above it.
It means that Hassan is only the second largest streamer now for politics on Twitch.
Okay, well, we both talked about Hassan, so he's everywhere.
Nobody had a problem about that, but somehow we're supposed to act like this is a problem now. Get the fuck out of here.
It is a problem. It's always
been happening
been a problem.
forever.
We need to start caring.
And how do you know that it was billionaire Democrat influence that was involved? Well, it's simple.
Well, yeah, we got like super PACs. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but I do know that they're larger than X-PAC, and he was a kind of big wrestler. So
it's because Bernie Sanders isn't the president right now.
I mean, there's a level of... I'm not 100% educated on the Bernie Sanders thing. My understanding is that the DNC backed Bernie. I mean, they didn't back Bernie. They backed Hillary. They thought that she had a better chance of winning. Bernie didn't really collect from big corporations. He did more of a grassroots, and he didn't really seem to do particularly well. I think at the time that Bernie ran, he probably wasn't like optically going to win because he seemed a little too radical, even though his ideas aren't really that radical. Higher minimum wage, universal health care, which I'd say in any of our allied countries, like Norway, Sweden, all those, whatever the fuck those places, who cares? You know, fantasy world. He's like a normal guy over there, you know. So, thank you for the 21-month small gut from Blasito98. The truth is that there is no political will for these issues. Like, yeah, nobody cares, you know.
Okay, we're gonna bring this around. It's gonna come around. This is gonna make sense. This is gonna make a lot of sense, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the proof.
This is a model that's actually familiar across the world. It's pioneered and perfected by strongmen like Viktor Orban in Hungary and Recep Erdogan in Turkey, and of course, Vladimir Putin in Russia. All of these rulers have their little crew of corporate and industrial titans who often hold no official government titles, but do the work of the regime in ways large and small, legitimate and otherwise, in return for their access and special privileges, including squeezing the state coffers to line their own pockets. As the Atlantic's Franklin Four puts it, the regime does the bidding of the billionaires. And
this is one of the tricks that media does, is they write articles that are inaccurate or problematic, and then they cross-reference each other to create the semblance of authenticity or authority.
I don't know what that guy was going to say, but what he's saying makes sense. That you have you have like corporations, people are corporate leaders that get buddy with presidents or elected officials, and then they get like unofficial government access in some capacity. Elon Musk already gets subsidies from our federal government in contracts, no? So that kind of is true. And maybe I could be wrong. Listen, we're just entering this. This kind of feels like Asmongold learned a new thing. And I'm not trying to be condescending, where media companies will cross-reference each other, and he's like, this is just the system supporting itself, and he's almost a little bit encouraging a conspiracy. But I'm sure there's a level of truth to that. But
So like they use each other for references, and they're like, well, he said it, and then I'm referencing back to this article that was written here. But the fact is that
but let's just be clear. Like, I would say conservatives are worse than Democrats at doing the bidding of billionaires, right? Like, they're constantly coming in and cutting taxes for the rich. That is doing the bidding of billionaires. So they're always worse. Like a conservative Trump twice now is going to inherit a good economy. The Biden economy is decent. It wasn't decent for a while. He was coming out of COVID, and there's like a whole Ukraine-Russia thing. I understand, but it's decent now. And they cut taxes, and like they just inflate our deficit when we should be tightening our deficit down. And it helps billionaires more than Democrats. Democrats are the lesser of two evils. They are probably in every sense better, pretty much on every issue for the most part. I don't think that's even a hot take. So, except for maybe the border, but this is consistent. Like trickle-down economics, we learned when we were toddlers that doesn't work. It doesn't work well. It's not really worth it, and especially now with technology. We have to be more clever about the way that we redistribute wealth and not just randomly cut taxes. I don't think it's particularly productive, especially for rich people. If we're going to cut taxes, it shouldn't be for anybody making the amount of money I do or higher, just to be clear.
it's bullshit in a lot of cases. Like I think like Black Myth Wukong, like the example like that before is just like it.
What does that mean?
I'm not saying that this is like...
I'm not sure what he's referring to with Black Myth Wukong.
Or Gamergate.
That game was great.
Okay.
Exactly what it is. The regime does building of billionaires, and in turn the billionaires do the bidding of the regime. Sure, of course this happens. Yeah, definitely. Right? The unique danger of a Trumpist oligarchy, complete bullshit. Absolute complete bullshit. Do you really think all the other billionaires are giving the other? Do you think that they gave all the other candidates money because they like them? And this is the
I think that Trump is probably the worst example of what's happening. Right, I think he's an exaggerated example. I mean, like he did this last time too, but he's talking about he wants to implement legislation for trans people. We just saw, and like I think there's a conversation to have about like where trans women may not be able to exist, like sports. Like maybe trans women probably have a biological advantage with cis women, right? But most of it is I'm going to come in, I'm going to implement an executive order to do something that's drastic, and then I'm going to pressure Congress to try to implement legislation. And my understanding is that you're supposed to implement the legislation, not engage in executive orders. He did the same thing with the border when he first got in. And then it was like a hit to Supreme Court. It got overturned. Now Trump's Supreme Court is stacked. I don't know how the whole process works, so I could be ignorant of part of it. But now he stacked the Supreme Court with 3 justices, one of which was stolen from Obama. And, he's already gotten criminal immunity from inciting an insurrection on January 6th and not doing anything to stop it after he did. And actually using that as an opportunity to try to steal the election in 2020. I guess technically 2021, right? So now it seems like it's getting more dangerous that he has like the checks and balances seem to be disappearing. Why doesn't trickle-down economics work? Well, here's the thing. You cut taxes for the rich, and then some of that money does trickle down to the poor and the middle class, but it's not enough to justify the increased deficit. So, we obviously, as a country, we have money that we take in with taxes, and then if we're in a deficit, that means that we are spending more money than we collect. If we're in a surplus, that means that we're collecting more money than we spend. And if you have a surplus, you can pay off debt that we have. This is a total accumulation of money that we owe. If you're in a deficit, you just continue to add to the debt. And so the trickle-down economics is not the most efficient way to empower the middle class. Mostly it lines the pockets of rich people who can absorb more money that they don't need. That's why it doesn't work. So does it work? It works in the sense that it does stimulate the economy, but it doesn't work. It's not nearly as efficient or productive to actually stimulate the economy, help middle and lower class people, and also, keep us in a surplus, if that makes sense.
the thing, right? Is it's like a misrepresentation that's then referred back to as an authority.
Turn the billionaires do the bidding of the regime.
Yeah.
Power grows ever more concentrated.
This is why you need to, guys, when you're watching these alternative media people, you have to ask for examples. Like, give an example of this. Like, when you say that George Soros, because that's who he's referring to, right? When George Soros is doing improper things, like what? Give me an example. What are we talking about? Like, what are these horrible things that they're doing that's even remotely close to the level of influence that Elon Musk has given to Trump?
Traded as the owners and the corrupt leaders conspire to protect their mutual hold on it. In short order, this arrangement has the potential to deliver a double blow to the American system. It can undermine capitalism and erode democracy
I could use a double blow. Don't tell my wife I said that.
all at once.
Eroding democracy is when you lose the vote.
I don't think that's what he's complaining about. My guess is, if this is 7 hours ago, is he's probably complaining about the fact that Elon Musk, who is the richest man in the world, who's controlling a social media
I think he's the second richest after Bezos. Or maybe Bezos isn't as rich anymore because he had to give some to his wife.
platform that was like openly pro-Trump and supporting Trump,
That's
is now
true.
in calls with the president-elect with foreign leaders. That's probably what he's talking about. Not just losing the vote, but...
Yeah. And Trump also tried to steal the vote in 2020. So,
And you may say, and you would be right, that corporate titans have always had a lot of political power, certainly from the little guy in America. But really, this is completely different from anything we've seen before.
I think that's true. I think that's definitely true. I agree with that. Like I said, Trump is an exaggerated version of what's already been happening. Maybe we'll wake the fuck up and actually get our shit together and be like, holy fuck, this guy's bad. We should probably change the system. This might need to be the great reset. We might need to be the most exaggerated form of shit in order to go, we should probably put that in the toilet, you know?
How? I'm sorry, but like, how? What about super PACs and all these other things?
Those are an issue, but Trump engages in like the same problems, right? I mean, Kamala raised a lot more money, but at the same time, keep in mind, Trump has been campaigning for 4 fucking years. Kamala, sorry, I get fucking, and Biden inherited a shit economy because of COVID mostly, and then they had an issue with wars going on, which absolutely did hurt the economy. We're doing better than every other country in the world, almost every other country, pretty much every other first world country. Yeah. So like overall, like everybody has been taking a hit when it comes to like the world economy, but we're doing the best out of everybody else, right? So we're doing pretty well. So Trump got to bitch and moan and complain that there was a conspiracy, which obviously wasn't true, and he gets to be like, "Hey, look, things are rough right now. Haha, it must be because it's Democrats in control." When I very highly doubt that. I feel like that Biden did better than Trump would have done given the circumstances. So yeah. Anyway, he's been campaigning for 4 fucking years. So like Kamala didn't raise a lot more money, but Trump's been going, lying. Right? He's been lying about everything. He lied about like the FEMA money not getting there. He's been fucking going insane. He's been going crazy. So
this has been going.
Even though he doesn't know what a super PAC is, guaranteed.
I don't actually know exactly what a super PAC is. I'm going to look it up in a second, but I'm going to get my understanding of it is as a uneducated guy. My understanding is a super PAC is a conglomeration, a bunch of different companies that kind of get together and support a particular political cause. I'm going to look it up. Okay, what is a super PAC? I just want to be transparent that I'm not the most educated on this, as we kind of learn while we look at this. A type of independent political action committee in which may raise unlimited sums of money from corporates, unions, and individuals, but is not permitted to contribute to or coordinate directly with parties or candidates. Okay. Interesting. Does that mean that they raise a bunch of money to help the person win, but they can't actually engage with those people? Officially? It's a political action committee. In the United States, a political action committee is a tax-exempt organization that pools campaign contributions from members and donates those funds to campaigns for or against candidates, ballots, invitations, or legislation. The legal term PAC was created in pursuit of campaign. Oh, this seems weird. I'm a little. So does this mean that they raise a bunch of money and then they donate it to political? That just sounds like corporations buying elections, kind of. No, like isn't that what that is? That seems pretty simple.
On forever.
Just look at Elon Musk.
I'm not just MAGA. I'm gothic MAGA. America's
He's so gay. He's so gay.
it's not just going to be great. America is going to reach heights that it has
It's like an official fundraiser. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
I hope so.
Massive, crushing victory. Get everyone, friends,
It
family,
happened.
people on the street. Put the signs up. Put the hat on. Let's go.
I got to be honest with you, buds. I'm a guy. I'm a guy, and I'm not perfect. And so, if you voted Trump, I disagree. But like, whatever. But if you wear the hat, I think that you're fucking crazy. And there was a guy I saw today And I saw him, and he had a MAGA hat on in a Costco, and I sent a Snapchat to my wife. I said, look, I called him a slur. In the message, I would never actually walk up to somebody. It's just so fucking gay when you see that. Oh, I've seen gay pride parades less gay. You know what? I shouldn't be using that word as a pejorative. I'm trying to be a better man, but I'm just saying.
The wildly charismatic billionaire rocket and electric car magnate.
What a talker, man. Oh my God. What a talker.
$130 million of his own wealth to get Trump elected.
Yeah.
That alone is unheard of. I mean, as far as we have records of, no one's ever done that before.
Didn't the Kamala Harris super PAC have like $17 billion or something like that? I mean, like.
Well, I think he's talking about an individual contribution is more than any individual contributor did.
What the money that an entire super PAC raises is not even, it's not even the claim that this guy just made. He just claimed that no individual on record has ever donated that much wealth individually to get a candidate elected before. Why are you citing the entire amount of money that a super PAC might have raised?
Yeah.
I have no idea how much money was even spent over the last election cycle. 17 billion? That sounds high. How much money was spent in 2024 election cycle?
Good, I don't have to look it up.
16 billion will be spent in the entirety of the 2024 election cycle. In the entirety. I'm guessing this is from both sides for all races, is my guess here.
I think didn't Kamala double the spending of Trump? I guess it kind of says basically communicates double on here. She double or tripled the spending. Guys, we can just do basic fucking math. I can't because I can't read that. It looks like about double. Yeah, she outspent it. But again, he's been campaigning since he lost and he cried about it. I don't get that. Conservatives are supposed to be against crybaby bitches like Trump, and they're like, yeah, let's vote for Trump. The guy who cried that he lost, he couldn't take a fucking flat L. It's crazy. But you know what? Political debt is back, and we're probably going to make some good money these next 4 years, so I should be happy. Not even with tax cuts, just with content.
I don't know. I mean, and this is the problem. Like, yeah, like look at George Soros, other people like this. Like, what are we talking about?
What are you talking about? What has George Soros done?
I mean, my understanding is George Soros is like a rich guy that's contributed to Democrats. Maybe I need to look into it more, but I constantly hear George Soros as a dog whistle to anti-Semitism. It's always like, oh, the Jews are funding this, the Jews are funding that. It's always this weird dog whistle, like conspiracy theory that like, that's the only understanding that I have of that. Yeah, you know, I'm down for an education on it, but it seems like an anti-Semitic dog whistle over and over again.
Like, what's an example? Like, what's an example?
That's a good question.
Like, the problem is that anybody can see that the government is bought and paid for.
Sure.
It's obvious.
Okay.
You know it. I know it. Everybody knows the government's rigged.
Sure.
But you're not going to gaslight people into thinking this is the, oh, wow, now it's rigged. It's been rigged, and you were defending it. But now...
Well, I think this is the worst moment of that. Destiny claps back at Asmongold featuring. Is this another video, or is this the same video we just watched? Oh, last 2 minutes is responding to Asmongold. Okay.
You're not, because it's not rigged in your favor. That's it. Harris got like 3 times the money Trump.
I don't think it's just that he's not rigged in a favor. Trump is like a uniquely dog shit president or person. So I don't know.
Waiting for an example. They're going to be here. It's coming.
Yeah, exactly. It's pay to win. Yeah.
Musk also...
Listen to what he just said.
Harris got like 3 times the money Trump did. Yeah, exactly.
Harris just got 3 times the money Trump did.
Yeah.
It's pay to win. Yeah.
It's pay to win. Yeah. Those two statements directly contradict each other. It's just like...
They do not contradict each other, but I do think that he is right, that it is to some degree a pay to win scheme. You know, like if you compare it to any other third party person, they don't have spend as much money and they don't typically win. It's pay to win is I'd say true.
This is emotivism. This is what we're doing. It's just like we're just saying things that are like...
They're popular. Yeah. They sound
pegged
nice.
to an emotion. None of them like logically makes sense. Like, what?
This is exciting, guys. We're
Musk
about to see a
also
blow
bought
up.
Twitter for $44 billion and drove its value to the ground. I mean, essentially setting half that money on fire, like $22 billion worth of value.
I love how the quote of Elon Musk is such a stupid asshole. He bought Twitter for $44 billion, and now he only controls all 3 branches of government. Yeah, it's crazy how, you know, he used this as a weapon to effectively change the outcome of an election. It is the most powerful media tool probably in the world right now. And somehow the way that you're grading its viability is about how much somebody would buy it for.
Yeah.
That's kind of a decent point.
Yeah.
I think the point that they're trying to make is that Elon Musk is a bad businessman. But yeah, I mean, I guess that is true. I mean, it seems like he did. I mean, in my opinion, Twitter was a massive. Twitter is, I don't know if it's quite, but Twitter is definitely the biggest alternative media source ever. It's full of insane misinformation. And when you have Elon Musk going, if Trump wins or doesn't win, it's like it's the end of like a democracy, effectively, something along those lines. And that's fucking crazy. So he's having a lot of influence. Every time I load up Twitter, I rarely do, but when I look it up, usually just to go look at porn, because that's kind of all it's good for. I always see Elon Musk tweets. I can't have to imagine that this motherfucker signal boosts anything that he says over there. The fact checking isn't great. It's basically like 4chan 2.0, but cringe, because 4chan's pretty base. Well, now 4chan's just boring. Let's be real. I think there's other. I don't know what the alternative sites are. I'm not up to speed. I'm not one of those guys. I'm a normie, they would say, I guess. But I guess this is a good point. If you're trying to be like, oh, he's a bad businessman, but he had so much social power. I mean, he does seem to have a lot of social pressure and power. So thank you for the 10. I think it's $10. 10 BGNs from Lazarus. Inception. Playing God of War Ragnarok while reacting to Papa Gut. Reacting to Synthetic Man's God of War Ragnarok while listening to Papa Gut live. Love it. Greetings from Bulgaria. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Oh God, he's actually so fucking stupid. Holy shit. He's a fucking.
Whoa! Thank God they censored the bad words.
People are valuing the business that you buy. They're not typically thinking of it as, well, you could use it as a subversive tool of propaganda to gain like illegitimate control over the state. That is correct. Yes, that's how it goes. When you buy a firm, you're usually thinking in terms of valuation of like, what can you sell the firm for in the future? It is indeed. That's like saying, oh, this guy spent $55 billion buying a firm that develops like a super secret sniper rifle, and it's only going to sell for like $2 billion in the future. What a bad buy. And it's like, oh, but what you didn't know was he was going to use a sniper rifle to like assassinate world leaders. Oh, I guess it was a good buy then. No.
I mean, it might have been like, well, it's not. No one ever assassinated anybody, but I don't know. I understand the point Asmongold's making. Oh, he's such a bad businessman that bought this, but he has so much control of the election. Like, what a bad guy. I mean, if this was Elon Musk's plan all along, which I doubt, because he's kind of he's just kind of a little weird. I guess he did a good job because he has a lot of political influence, and now he got himself in with Trump. So if that was the plan all along, he's actually doing very well, even if he has reduced the corporate power of Twitter.
Obviously, that's not what people are thinking when they're valuing Twitter. They're not thinking of, oh, he's going to use this as an actual like propaganda arm of one of the campaigning people to control the entire government. Jesus.
I can't wait for the conversation.
It's just like such a one-dimensional way of thinking.
It's never mind. Okay.
In order to turn the social media platform into a right-wing propaganda machine to get Donald Trump elected.
It's again, like from anybody on social media, like I'm not.
We got like a fucking reactception here. I just realized after that donation. Oh my God. I'm reacting to a reaction of a video. Holy fuck.
Look at what Elon Musk did with Twitter. Also, Twitter is not a right-wing propaganda machine. There are tons of people that are left-wing that are posting on
The owner is literally...
Oh, sorry, I skipped to that.
Anybody on social media, like I'm not going to look at what Elon Musk did with Twitter. Also, Twitter is not a right-wing propaganda machine.
Listen, that's impossible. I just will never believe that. Twitter is definitely a right-wing propaganda machine. Let's not even call it a conspiracy. Maybe Elon Musk just loves right-wing stuff. It totally is. Since Elon took over, it is a slew of insane misinformation that Elon Musk pushes out. The tweets he pushes out are fucking insane. They're fucking crazy. He's saying shit like the election is going to be over, pushing conspiracy theories about like election fraud, that like Democrats stole the election, even tried again this cycle. The shit that he puts up is fucking wild. It definitely is a right-wing propaganda machine. I feel like more normal people are coming off there. Twitter's insane. Normal people go to Twitter, go like, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck?
There are tons of people that are left-wing that are posting on Twitter.
I'm sure that there are people that are left-wing posting on Twitter, but they're fucking crazy. Like, it's the same thing. I don't think TikTok is nearly as bad, but like TikTok has a more left-leaning audience. The audience on Twitter is effectively mostly right-wing. There are still some right-wingers on TikTok. There's still some left-wingers on Twitter. But Twitter is a right-leaning audience, and then Elon Musk uses it to push misinformation actively. The owner of the platform uses it to push misinformation and also talk about how he's one of the best Diablo players, which is interesting. I guess God bless. So,
owner is literally a supporter of the right wing. He literally commandeered the @America account to promote the right-wing talking points to get Donald Trump elected. And the owner of the platform literally retweets other right-wing accounts. Like, if this isn't a right-wing platform, what the fuck are you talking about?
Thank you for the $10 Canadian from Jack Toms. Papa, what should I do if any part of this video resonates? You probably just jerk off to it, bud. I guess you could timestamp it if you want. I would just start jorking it aggressively.
Do you think Asmongold was one of the people pissing and
And that is true. Twitter is one of the best porn apps, though. I don't know what it is. I like to consume that type of information, like random small clips. So you just look up, you know, whatever you're in the mood for. Maybe it's R34, and you just scroll through the videos. You're like, well, okay, and you get little tidbits of stuff. So I appreciate the randomness of it, you know.
and come themselves whenever there would be a person would post something like, I think Jewish space lasers are destroying our DNA, and they get banned, and they're like, oh, left-wing moderation, oh my god, left-wing, oh my god, the left-wing censorship media, like, Jesus.
Wing propaganda machine to get Donald Trump elected.
It's again, like from anybody on social media, like I'm not going to look at what Elon Musk did with Twitter. Also, Twitter is not a right-wing propaganda machine. Okay. There are tons of people that are left-wing that are posting on Twitter, and they can post basically whatever they want. The fact is that Twitter is an open space for people to have opinions.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's very, very conservative-minded, and it's a little crazy. But
that's it. It is? No, it's not. What happens if you follow a bunch of left-wing people? Well, then you're going to get their opinions instead. That's what happens.
Right, but I think that the point is that Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, pushes disinformation, and he gets obviously no punishment for it. And those community notes aren't really anything. It's other people going, hey, should there be a community note on there? It's not really the most meaningful pushback protocol. I don't understand why Asmongold is coping so fucking hard here. Just say, like, yeah, it is very right-leaning. The owner obviously pushes this type of information. I just don't think, you know what it is? I don't think that he realizes that it's misinformation. I think that's why I think he falls for it. He probably sits on Twitter all day. And especially after the whole Israel-Palestine, like, insensitive comment he made, you know, he's probably doubling down onto like a more right-leaning area because like I feel like I thought what he said was very to me it felt like a dog whistle that it was justified the death of Palestinians, whether it was intentional or not. But you know how online communities are. All interactions are always disproportionate, and so he probably got railed on that harder than he probably deserved, and that pushed him a little farther right. But I could be wrong. I don't know, but I'm always right, so I can't be wrong. Just kidding. Thank you for the 1 year from August. Small gut. 1 year of being a small gut. I'm a true gutter. Incredible stuff, August. Damn, it's been a fucking year.
You do know that like Elon's account in and of itself has like an artificial boost on like its tweets, right?
I'm sure that it does. I always fucking see them. I'm just trying to jerk off, dude. And I look at, dude, you know what's pissing me off about Twitter more than anything else? Just gonna speak candidly. I look at so much fucking porn on Twitter. It's the only thing that I look at is porn on Twitter. Only thing I look at. And yet, every time I load it up, my For You page is just full of people getting stabbed, beaten, non-fun racism, like real racism, not funny jokes, like actual I hate certain groups of people shit, and Elon Musk, mostly Elon Musk. The only area that there's porn in is all the death videos. If you look at the comments, there's girls with their OnlyFans asses. I don't get that. There's got to be somebody's got to be messing with my algorithm. I'm not trying to see all that shit. I'm just trying to see fucking tits. Okay? That's it. Sometimes a girl's dick. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I'm a cultured man. Okay? I'm a cultured man.
If we are to believe what Twitter employees say, and the fact that
Thank you for the 16-month small gut from Observet. Excuse me, 16 months August, I win. Okay.
you get them spammed like fucking crazy to you every time you log onto that.
Not like when Elon Musk took over, he went and banned Bernie Sanders.
That's, I guess, true.
That's not how it works. I see far left opinions all the time. So do I, constantly.
I feel like you probably... Listen, just going to be honest with you, I don't think Asmongold does see far left opinions on Twitter all the time. Unless maybe it's a right-wing account going, this guy's fucking gay! And they usually use the F slur, which is like, damn, that's even crazy for me, dog. So, I feel like you probably don't see that much progressive information on Twitter, you know?
And it kind of worked. And not
Thank you for the 22-month small gut from Sam. With a bunch of winky faces. You guys having a competition today. Okay.
just to get Trump elected, but to make the world's richest man. And it kind of worked. And not just to get Trump elected, but to make the world's richest man even richer.
Okay.
How do you feel about right-leaning,
Elon, no,
non-political content creators being much more willing to express their political opinions and endorsing candidates versus big left content creators avoiding politics for fear of alienating their audience?
Stop being a pussy. Stop being a fucking pussy. Kind of stop being a pussy. I know it's a little bit tougher because there's more groups on the left, right? And like the right's usually very firm in what they believe, like this, and the left has a lot of smaller groups. But stop being a pussy, you know, and don't let people push you farther right just because you say something stupid. Because, you know, I feel like, you know, that's how I've been there before. Thank you for the $2 from Full of Pestilence, Doomfist. Somehow how the same feed on Twitter. Oh, we have the same feed. All right, high five. Incredible stuff.
I've gone over this a lot now.
Pop, I follow a bunch of right wingers, but still get a lot of tweets from left wingers. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I read that intentionally because I have integrity, and I also don't think before I speak. So I'll forget to push a narrative. I'm incapable of it. No, but interesting. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I feel like I'm not. I feel all the time, and I just feel right, so I have to be.
Is that the right wing, because
although you want to know what, every once in a while when I'm scrolling I will see, and I'll always be surprised, I'll see something that's like actually left leaning. I'm like, wow, that's surprising. So maybe I'm just not scrolling enough to get through all the right wing fucking, you know, bullshit that Elon's pushing first. At least, well, let me just be clear, I don't even necessarily get right wing bullshit. It's Elon Musk's tweets constantly in my fucking throat. That's what it is.
they have a cult, it's just so much more easy to roll people into it. And there's so much acceptance, there's so much support. It's just like there's such a huge incentive and reward structure there for kind of like becoming part of the right-wing cult, right? You support Daddy Trump, now you've got a whole bunch of new fans, a whole bunch of people that are thumbs upping and, you know, approving of you and supporting you. It's just like
Tesla among this week's biggest gainers on the S&P, up nearly 20%, fueled, of course, by the president-elect's victory. That surge resulting in a windfall for Elon Musk, who now has a net worth of $290 billion.
Whoa.
I mean, you see, right? You don't have to be like super sophisticated to see how like wildly corrupt this could be. Trump isn't even.
I'd be careful with that, because when you say wildly corrupt this could be, here's one of the problems. And I think that the right does it more than the left. Okay, but I think it's part of the reason that people don't trust different forms of media. Is like that. Like, that's very intentional. This could be corrupt, right? Like,
you see, right? You don't have to be like super sophisticated to see how like wildly corrupt this could be.
Like, when you say this could be corrupt, we know I don't know. What that communicates to me is you want me to think that it is corrupt, but you don't have any objective proof. And I know that this is probably not the best example, but like, how often do we hear shit like this? Like, this seems to happen all the time, where like this is the sensationalization of media. And again, conservative media is more guilty. I mean, they literally had to fire Tucker Carlson because he cost them like what, $800 million or whatever the fuck, because like he lied. He was in text messages like, yeah, this whole election fraud Dominion thing is fake, and like then he had to get fired because he was fucking lying. Right, as Fox News pushed that. But this is how people stop trusting the media, is that like the media will say something that's factually like correct, and then they'll throw like a spin on it, so sensationalize it. And this is one of those instances. It was like the whole Russian collusion thing, right? Like, it's like every day we're on like fucking Trump watch. He's definitely did a collusion, blah, blah, blah. He's guilty. The Mueller report was necessary. And what did come out of the Mueller report? Definitely indictments that didn't make Trump look good. Definitely we found out that Russia objectively wanted Trump to win or Hillary to lose. But there wasn't like this absolute Russian collusion. So it made the left-wing media in that point look kind of stupid. It was like, okay, it wasn't quite what they were saying. Now people go, oh, okay, I'm not going to trust you anymore. And we know it only takes one, right? Because I've even seen Destiny talk about it, and he's right. Where like, you only takes this like one false sexual assault allegation, and nobody's going to trust victims of sexual assault, right? All it takes is one guy to be a piece of shit to you, and you don't trust men. All it takes is one woman to be a piece of shit to you, you don't trust women. It's kind of like that. And so people are already going to have their media-leaning bias in general. And there's actually interesting, apparently, studies that say that like conservatism, progressivism, these are some aspects can be biological. And so it just kind of ruins the trust for somebody, and then they end up going in the opposite direction, and then it becomes like a whole fucking landfall. And I just feel like that's kind of like some of the contributing rhetoric here, you know?
Trump isn't even.
I do. I think it could be corrupt. It absolutely could be. And I think.
Remember what I said before, though, the reason why these people are willing to accept this, and he's about to say it, is, yeah, it is corrupt, just like it's always been corrupt, right? If your mindset is that all of this stuff has always been corrupt, these people have always been like criminals and crooks, then of course it's easy to accept.
Yeah, it's like
anytime somebody is actually like a criminal or a crook, right? Like, it's easy to accept that.
I think in some cases it is. But the problem is that you're not going to get any sympathy from people when this has been something that's been going on forever.
Like
It's funny that he called it. He's right, but like that's the problem. Well, I think that Asmongold's biggest issue is not understanding that this seems, from what I'm seeing, again, we're talking about the insurrectionists who tried to get false votes in 2020. That guy's worse than anything that we've ever had. Okay, just to be absolutely clear. All right, this is an exaggerated form of what's been happening. I'd say Asmongold's right, but I also doubt that Asmongold places a particular high amount of value on actual real patriotism, because that's one of the things I come from. I love this country. I'm a cum guzzler for America. I love this country like a lot. And so when I see deeply un-American behavior from our president, soon to be president again, although you always call him a president, right? Still President Obama. So when we see deeply un-American behavior from a president, that hurts my heart. That sounds really cringe, but like I love America. So just to be clear, that's the thing that frustrates me, is it seems to be like a downplaying of Trump's behavior. It's like, yeah, this has always been happening, so whatever Trump's doing is fine. It's not fine. He should be punished for it. And I think what he does is worse, to be absolutely clear.
There it is, yeah. It hasn't been going on forever. You just don't know anything. You just have no history, understanding. You have no concept of what goes on in the media. You don't even know what a super PAC is. You don't know.
Well, my understanding is like pretty much after 9/11. That was my understanding of when things started to go fucking crazy. Because 9/11 happened, and then that's when we started the 24-hour news cycle. News was running for 24 hours because 9/11 was big. That was culture shock. Thousands of people died. Horrible impacts still being felt today by some people who are still negatively impacted by like all the debris and everything. The first responders. You know, Norm Macdonald was walking through blood and bones. It's terrible stuff. And so they engaged in a 24-hour news cycle. And then once like 9/11 wasn't trendy anymore, what a weird way to say that. Once 9/11, we started to dial down and we started to heal. Isn't that the better way to say it? I could be a politician. Once we started to heal after that, they were like, well, we're making a lot of money on this shit. We got to keep it up. And so that's where this kind of steps in, where the media is constantly going, but they need interesting content. So they start to sensationalize. They take a fact and they sensationalize that fact. And they run with it and they attach like a particular bias to it, and it gets out of control. And I feel like every content creator's always done that. Right? Like I've been there where like, you know, and I largely have gotten away from that. And I haven't been like this for a very long time, but there's times where you're like, you know, you might get a really big hit on a video that's like, this happened. And then you come into the next video, and whether it's intentional or not, you start to sensationalize it. It's not as big of a deal as the other one, but you got to make it feel like that. It's got to be your next big thing. We need another 9/11. You know, Trump hit the second tower. And it kind of gets out of control. And I feel like that's when it really started. That's my understanding of when things really started, was like the 24-hour news cycle and this desperation for constant news, and it became entertaining. News shouldn't be entertaining. Politics shouldn't be entertaining. It should be so fucking boring. But it's not. You know, we should be like, hey, we have a problem. What's the problem? The border. And then we have Democrats, Republicans like, I want to fix it like this. I want to fix it like that. And then we're like, all right, you fucking do your thing. You do whatever the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, you know, fringe. Who wants to sit here and fucking talk about that? But it's so entertaining. We're sitting here. I mean, this is probably going to be one of my better videos. Not a lot of views compared to these two, of course. But this is the entertainment. You got a reactor reacting to a reactor. Well, you know, Destiny's certainly more than a reactor. But you get my point. Reacting to a reactor, reacting to, I think, MSNBC. And like, we all drink it. Poop. So.
You don't know what any of this is, but you're like, oh yeah, this has been happening forever. No, it hasn't. Nothing like this has ever happened in the history of the United States of America. Well, I can't think of it. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's even remotely close to this. I can't think of anything that's remotely close to this. Like, Twitter has become like RT. Like, it's just insane.
What is RT?
Citizens United was codified into law before Trump was even around.
You don't know what that case was about. You don't know what it does.
Citizens United. So my understanding of Citizens United was basically a case where a bunch of big old like corporations were saying we're basically people and we should have like the same rights, and they were able to we should have the right to basically mega lobby and have massive impacts on the election through doling out endless amounts of money. Again, I'm not like 100% educated on this. I'm not trying to say, RT is Russia Today. Okay. I'm not going to pretend that I know everything that's going on. A lot of times when we engage with this stuff, we have to learn, which is fun because we haven't actually had to learn anything too much lately. It's so much fun. Let's look at it. Let's look at an explanation of it. January 21, mark a decade since Supreme Court's ruling Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission, a controversial decision that reversed century-old campaign finance restrictions and enabled corporations and other outside. Oh, so this has only been going on for 10 years, or maybe 15 years. So a conservative nonprofit group called Citizens United challenged campaign finance rules after the FEC stopped it from promoting and airing a film criticizing presidential candidate Hillary Clinton too close to the presidential primaries. A 5-4 majority Supreme Court decided, which was ruling that corporations and outside groups can spend unlimited monies on elections. Okay, so that's what it seems to be. So it's basically a ruling that corporations and any outside group can spend unlimited amounts of money on elections. That's not good. That's terrible because money is power. Okay. And that means that like we lose influence as people. Yeah, our vote might still count for the same as it used to. But like I can't spend all my fucking money trying to get some asshole elected. But these corporations have the they want an ROI, a return on investment, right? But I would just say that the fact that this is something that's been going on for 15 years, probably like saying this has been happening forever. Well, you kind of contradicts what you saying that. But this is not good. This is fucking terrible. This gives too much power to corporations and not enough power to the average everyday American. I mean, I can't imagine that you're going to have too many grassroots movements that are going to be successful in a time like this when these corporations can spend a ton of money. And not only do they have more money to spend, but they have but they know how to spend it better. They know how to spend it better, right? Because like they're giving it to the guys who know how to be effective about however they're spending that dollar. If I was going to decide to spend money on an election for myself, let's say I had $1 million, my $1 million is not going to go as far as $1 million, maybe even $500,000 from some other corporation or something, because they know exactly who to hire and where to go to get the most views and the most blah blah blah. So
You don't know what a super PAC is. Kill me.
So
Dude.
what are we talking about? How Elon Musk is?
I don't think that those things are too complicated. Like a super PAC is when corporations give a lot of money to a campaign to help them win. Like it's not, I couldn't sit here and give you the best definition, but I feel like that's a good rundown. Asmongold probably knows enough of that in this situation.
Kind of like unique danger. It's outrageous. Yeah, you lost the game.
I don't know. I overall agree with Destiny more, obviously, here. I think that Asmongold's downplaying how dangerous Donald Trump is. At the same time, I feel like maybe Destiny's just like frustrated. Because, we took an L, guys. Well, we took a bit of an L on the election. And he's just fucking grumbling and pissed about it, which is understandable. I took my days. I took a day to just I was fucking upset. I streamed, but I wasn't happy. I was just like, I felt like I've been betrayed as an American. But it is what it is, man. At least we don't have a black woman, right? I'm just kidding. Am I? I am. I'm just kidding. I would have been fine. I would have preferred Michelle Obama. I like Michelle Obama. I like Barack Obama too. If Trump, here's the good news: if Trump comes in, and he's like, "I'm going to be a dictator. I'm going to remove the whatever bullshit that there was that will stop me from running for a third term." Boom, Barack Obama can run again, and he's going to run fast. You get the joke. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm running it into the ground at this point. So that could be the silver lining. Yeah, term limits. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't have to be smart all the time. That's why I never am. Give me a fucking break.
Hey, bro, you lost the game. That's it.
Hasn't yet, but the mere fact he will be has
John
investors
Stewart.
flocking to invest in Elon Musk companies because Musk is close to the press. They know. In fact, they probably saw the Trump family photo from Mar-a-Lago celebrating the day after the election, a family photo that, interestingly,
Why does Musk look so fucking weird? Okay, sorry.
doesn't include Melania Trump, who I think is
Twitter and YouTube literally had the president banned off their platform. Do you know how long it took them to ban him? And they banned him because he was inciting violence, which all the Republicans, by the way, even the Republicans agreed to, and all of your hack conservative commentators agreed to before they realized that Trump was still going to remain popular in the party. So yeah, they did ban him for breaking the rules. That's how it's supposed to go. Yes.
I'm assuming it's a January 6th thing. Papaga Destiny said he's done playing nice with conservatives when it comes to both sides' argument. No more we can agree to disagree type of conversation like his Ben Shapiro debate. Listen, man. I'm just a humble fat guy. So who the fuck cares what I have to say? I like the energy. from Destiny. I think it's refreshing. You know, we do need somebody that'll get down in the sticks and the mud. But I would say that there's got to be a level of decorum maintained. You know, regardless of how you want to cut it. I mean, just from an optical perspective, I feel like Kamala Harris is focused a little. I'm just gonna call her Harris. Harris needed to focus a little less on Trump is bad and a little more on like active policy. So, when has Destiny ever played nice? That's kind of fair. Your nonchalance got Trump votes. Honestly, no, it didn't. Let's be fucking real. Donald Trump beat the fuck out of 2 women and couldn't beat a senile old man. I'm not saying that the only reason Kamala lost is because she's a woman, but I'm just gonna say that it's a reason why she lost. That's obviously. You know it too. Everybody else will be like, no, that's not true. I know. Bro, I used to work a fucking blue collar job. I used to work with mechanics and shit. And I remember during the 2016 election, and I heard so many guys, good guys I liked, they were like, I can't vote for Hillary because I just feel like the rest of the world won't respect us if a woman's in power. And that's probably the nicest anti-female perspective when it comes down to it. Okay? I guarantee you, we're all sitting here pretending we don't know why Black and Hispanic people voted for Trump in higher numbers. It's because they tend to be more religious people. People want to pretend that like they're super liberal. They're very religious, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what is religion's view on women? It's the way it should be. No, it's a little regressive. Typically doesn't think that women have the ability to do the same roles as men. So like there's a level of truth to it. Okay, there's a level of truth to it. I'd say that it could have been the deciding factor. Maybe it wasn't. She might have just got lost anyway. When it comes to her being Black, I don't know if that has much of an impact because, you know, Obama won. So it's like, you know, I feel like, but it probably had an impact, but I feel like the woman thing had more of an impact. So.
Donald Trump's wife the last time I checked. But there's Elon Musk. He gets the friends and family discount now. And while he's sitting on
Sorry, he pauses by more than me.
discount now.
That's not true.
And while he's sitting on
Sorry, what? I'm just missing context here. I'm sorry.
Donald Trump's wife the last time I checked. But there's Elon Musk.
Hi,
he gets
Elon.
the friends and family discount now. And while he's sitting on
Okay, probably does.
I don't get it. So like now this
We know, we understand. Yeah.
is some kind of because the media is attacking him because they're losing power to Twitter. It is. Twitter is a direct threat to establishment media because it's a bigger platform than any establishment media. It's worldwide and it's effectively completely open. So
I just want to be very clear here because I think it's not a bad thing that we have like alternative media in the sense that like, you know, the fact that they need to compete with that might get them to get their shit together. I don't know. But just to be clear, every media institution, Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, they have higher standards that they are held to than Twitter. Twitter can actively push disinformation and misinformation with reckless abandon, and there's no system of checks and balances there. So, you know, especially in a time where people are very conspiracy-minded, you can just say what the fuck you want, and it becomes popular. It's not necessarily a good thing that Twitter is a threat to them. Twitter doesn't have any regulations, and at least not to the degree that the media does. Again, the media will lie through sensationalization. They'll tell you the truth, but they'll throw a narrative onto it. Twitter will just fucking lie. They'll just say things. They'll just say unhinged conspiracy theories. Okay.
So the ability that, like, I've always thought that media has actually always been corrupt. It's just that we didn't know it until we got the internet and we could really see what happens behind the curtain.
Yeah, I just feel like that's so. I don't think it's as corrupt as you want to think that it is.
So crazy how the internet has made all these fucking morons. Oh my God, it's actually crazy to me. The false sense of grandeur that you think you know so much because you sit there and you spam watch Tim Pool and Alex Jones. You're like, oh my God.
By the way, Russian cum guzzler Tim Pool. We know what you did. We know what you did, you dingle.
God, this is reality. This is crazy. Like, these are the same people that would have been talking to you about Bat Boy because they were buying the National Enquirer when they were standing in line at Walmart.
What is Bat Boy? Oh, okay. Like like some kind of circus thing. Okay. Like, oh, Bat Boy's real. He's real, by the way. I don't know if anybody, you know. You shouldn't have used that example, Destiny. If you said Ratman, I would have been like, see, that one was fake. But Bat Boy was real. I remember him. I saw him one time. I had just gotten my eyes done. They had dilated my eyes, and it was bright, so I couldn't. It was hard to see. My eyes were there. I was straining them, but I saw something that looked like a Bat Boy. And I think I was at a baseball game. It's real stuff.
Holy shit.
I think media has always been extremely corrupt. It's just that now we have the tools
I don't think it's always been extremely corrupt. I think that since 9/11, like the 24-hour news cycle, things have gone crazy.
to perceive it.
Thank you for the small gut from Molly Boo. Papa, you got to step up and run in 2020. I 2020. I can't fucking run. Look at me. I'm fucking fat. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm fat. I'm white. What kind of running am I going to do? Okay, and I'm not a woman. I have no motivation to run away from somebody alone at night. So what am I going? How am I going to do that? It's not going to happen. I'll roll, not like physically. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're fat. Roll around." I'm not that kind of fat, but I will sit in a scooter, and I'll roll the scooter.
Mainstream media is dying. Yes, it is dying, and Twitter is pulling the plug. That's what I'm saying. Twitter is the main place that people get
He loves guzzling Twitter scum.
information.
He loves Twitter. Holy shit.
Bigger than any of them combined? Yeah, exactly. So this is the reason why they're against Twitter and why they're trying to like make advertisers leave Twitter. It's because they want to maintain their position in the media economy.
Who's trying to make advertisers leave Twitter? Isn't it more that like Twitter just is doing things to make them a little bit unadvertisable when you're pushing like insane shit? Hey, whatever. What's up, Willie Mac? How's it going, brother?
And why they're trying to like make advertisers leave Twitter.
Why? Who's trying to? I maybe I just don't know what to talk about. Who's trying to make advertisers leave Twitter?
It's because they want to maintain their position in the media economy. And Twitter is threatening that position in a direct way. Corrupt or biased? Why not both? Billion.
I mean, they're definitely biased, but so is conservative media. I've tried investing skill points at speed. I fucking hate games where you invest skill points. I can't do it. Just give me the points for me. I have a learning disability. Okay, that's being stupid.
Of dollars of government contracts to the point where the U.S. space program has become largely dependent on him. Now he's going to be something approaching a kind of co-president.
A co-president. Wow.
That's possible. I feel like I'd want to see it first. I don't want to get too amped up about what the negative things Trump can do. I want to kind of see it a little more before I get fucking crazy. Thank you for the small gut from Miasma Tasma. Incredible stuff. I'm hoping Ben Shapiro's right when he says that Trump is just the checks and balances are going to hit him when he tries to fucking do insane shit, but we can only hope.
Who thought that? Oh, I guess. Yeah, they just invented that. Advertisers are leaving on their own because it's a cesspool. I don't think that's true.
I mean, this is where I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. Twitter is insane. I left Twitter. I love edgy humor, and I had to stop using Twitter because it's fucking psychotic. It's insane. Saying that advertisers don't want to leave is, I just don't even know how, like, there's just no way that you think that. Like, this is in my opinion, the most unreasonable point in Asmongold's video is that advertisers are getting pressured to leave Twitter. They don't actually want to leave Twitter. And then seeing on there where it's constantly jokes about how Indian people are disgusting and people shooting and murdering each other in the streets while OnlyFans whores advertise their OnlyFans in the fucking comments. And you're sitting here telling me that Twitter isn't, like, that these companies aren't like, we should probably leave this insane asylum. There's no fucking way. I just don't believe that. How do you not? What the fuck is wrong with you? That's crazy shit. I'm actually coming in my pants right now because I'm watching a murder video on Twitter on the other screen, and there's tits all over it underneath of like OnlyFans tits. That's how Twitter's unfucking hinged. They're unhinged, dude.
I think that media and advertising.
Oh my god! And he's even slurping up the.
And the problem that I don't mean to constantly talk, but I'm good at talking. The talk might not be good, but I'm good at talking. This is just another conspiracy theory, and like that's the problem. Is Asmongold's engaging in conspiracy theory? We know Twitter's insane. We know that advertisers will want to pull out of this insane asylum. We know it's full of murder, porn, and fucking racism, and bigotry and shit. The unfun kind. And Asmon's like, no, I think that there's a conspiracy to get them to lose advertisers. What the fuck? That's crazy. It's just like, that's what's happening right now. Is he's pushing another conspiracy theory for the right. It's crazy.
Elon load about how advertisers are just leaving the platform because they're colluding against him. They don't like him. Kill me, bro.
Advertisers create an expectation, and also advertisers probably don't.
Yeah, the expectation that there are going to be like open Nazis and like anti-Semitic, crazy racist black people fighting videos that are getting 50,000 likes and retweets like every other fucking day on the platform.
I think that media and advertisers create an expectation, and also advertisers.
Yeah, an expectation that they're going to sell.
Advertisers probably don't want to have Twitter owned by Elon Musk either. And so what happens is that advertisers...
I can't agree with that because I feel like most companies and businesses, every other moment of the day, we know that they just want money. And so the reality is I think that Elon Musk running the company is hurting the effectivity of the advertisement. And so they're like, we got to back out of this. Like all of a sudden, these companies are just engaging in this conspiracy to overthrow Elon Musk. For the first time ever, they are caring. That's like sitting here saying that Target actually cares about fucking gay and trans people, and that's why they're doing all this fucking pride shit. I'm sure there are people that work for Target that like gay and trans people, but we know it's like primarily financially driven. That's why Xbox will put up gay pride, gay pride Xbox, except for like their Middle Eastern branch, right? Because they don't really like gay people too much over there. It seems so.
By withholding funding and not putting funding out there, what they do is they create soft speech requirements where it's like, well, you can't have these opinions, you can't say these things, you can't even allow other people to say these things, because if you do, we're going to take away the money we give you, and we're going to use this as leverage to get you to compel speech. Like that's basically what happens. And I
usually you can't say slurs and stuff.
know that there are some people that are happy about this and they're like, oh, that's good. It's not good. It's not good when Elon Musk does it. It's not good when they do it either. I don't want to have some multi-billion-dollar company that has a fiduciary responsibility to make as much profit as possible trying to be the arbiter of what can and can't be said. That's insane.
They don't care what can and can't be said. They're looking at trends and saying we shouldn't say this because it's not advertiser friendly. But okay.
Of course not.
Okay. Good takes.
Incredible. Oh wait, hold on. So apparently this video has, at the end of this video, there's like Destiny reacts to Asmon reacting to the oh, we're gonna come. Hold on.
I guess, yeah.
We got to get this. We got to see how amazing this is about to get. So react inception. I'm about to gargle so much slop. We got Papa God over here reacting to Destiny, reacting to Asmongold, reacting to Destiny, reacting to Asmongold, reacting to MSNBC, dude. Oh, dude. I'm so excited. This is so exciting. This is the most exciting thing that's ever happened in your life. And that's true. You know it's true. This is your sign to get your shit together. All right, we got to do it, dude. We got to do this.
I respect Destiny a lot. Destiny's changed my opinions about a number of things like January 6th.
Wait, he changed your opinion on January 6th, and you don't think that Trump is like antithetical to our fucking government? To our way of life?
What is Kick? Kick is effectively a loss leader for stake.
Okay.
And I think that Elon Musk is using Twitter as a loss leader for Tesla and SpaceX by losing money on it to make more money by entrenching himself in the government.
I don't know exactly how loss leaders work. My understanding is like a loss leader. I know in Costco terms. I know in Costco terms how loss leading works because I'm fat. So they put the chicken that's cheap in the back that they take money loss on. Wow, I've just got dumber talking. They take a financial loss on. So you walk through the whole store and potentially buy a bunch of other things as you get to the chicken. But I don't understand it in this terms. Like, how does being a loss leader on Twitter help you? Is it because he could write off the losses? I don't know.
It exists in an ecosystem. And
that's called rent seeking, and it's bad. It's considered a bad thing. It's considered a bad thing in a liberal capitalist society when you're spending money not on research and development, on creating a better product, not on advertising, insofar as trying to get your product in front of more people, but in spending money to alter the regulatory environment to give you a competitive edge. That's called rent-seeking behavior, and it's generally either illegal or highly discouraged because you don't want people spending money on shit just to have a more competitive to make their product seem more competitive by buying the government. By definition, you want to avoid that. Rent-seeking is bad behavior.
Yeah.
That's what's talking Discord.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of it like that. Sorry, Dust.
God, I don't want to talk to anybody on Discord. Guys, I don't want to go and have a debate or anything about this. If I don't have a strong opinion about Elon Musk and Trump, then do.
Well, but I disagree. It's not like he came in and reacted to it and he's like, oh, this is interesting. He seems to have a very strong opinion that what Elon Musk's doing is beneficial to the world almost. And I only say that because I took a look at his channel real quick, and I've seen Destiny say something along the lines of, oh yeah, Trump will end this war on free speech. And I didn't watch the video, but that communicates to me that you're big into Trump supporting, and I don't know, maybe I have to watch the video to know more. But that video that we just watched sounded like he had a very strong opinion, a very strong positive opinion of Elon Musk. And if he doesn't think that Trump is a unique threat, and again, Trump is an exaggeration of the threats we've already been having, right? Through by the ability to kind of disinformation, lies, and all this other bullshit. I don't feel like fucking requalifying this an hour into the goddamn segment. But you think he actually did try to insurrect the government, but you're like, I don't really have a strong opinion on this guy. What the fuck? How do you overlook that?
Do what I said before, then just stop talking about it. Don't talk about it anymore. Why would you say that?
Well, he gets a lot of money talking about it.
Why would you even? That's even worse. That's even worse. Then just don't talk about it, right?
I feel like the entire thing was built off of me reciting back a tweet that I thought was funny.
No, it was over a 10-minute video where you say over and over again, oh, Citizens United and super PACs and both sides are the same, and they're mad because everybody does this and all the corruption, blah, 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 blah. That's the issue. It wasn't over just a tweet. Jesus.
This isn't like a strongly held position of mine. I'm not upset about this. This isn't a strong opinion. They're just talking about a tweet.
I honestly think Asmongold's afraid to talk to Destiny. Because he would get fucking rocked. I hate to say it like that. I would hope Destiny would be kind of nice to Asmongold, but I mean, I think he would get fucking pooped on in a debate. But yeah, I mean, listen, man. This is my first. I'm just starting to get into Asmongold. I still seems like a kind of a nice guy, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about how I'm the most educated person when it comes to any of these issues. I'm not. I think I'm above the most. I think I'm like above average understanding of things when it compared to most Americans. You know. And I feel like maybe Asmongold's in a similar place, man. But I feel like maybe, I don't know, man. It seems like you're a little too in support of right wing shit. I don't know. It's just weird to me that he's like, Destiny changed my mind on January 6th, and then you're sitting here and you're pretending that Trump isn't a unique threat to our democracy. It just seems so fucking stupid to me. It doesn't make sense. But I think that's pretty much it. Oh, we have XQC, dude. Let's just keep the goon going.
Jesus.
Like, what?
Dude, what the dude? This is unwatchable. XQC. What does XQC say
Right now. And some
He's a fucking
viability.
doing the business. Insofar as
Shut up, XQC.
You know what? Let's send it there. Let's send that there.